what would you do, Anshika, if you had like a good business idea and you had to drop out of your marketing education, or rather MBA marketing, right? If you had to drop it out, would you value continuing your MBA marketing, or would you value uh, having this marketing startup, or for example, having a business startup, or wanting to be an influencer?
No problem.
Okay, I think we're live. Yes, we are live. All right, amazing. Hi, Let's Sell in India community. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Anshika Agarwal, and she is the PR specialist at a big headphone slash speaker company, Indian based company, and its name is Mivi. I'm sure a lot of you know about Mivi because they're all over the place right now on social media. The biggest influencers are promoting it, and Anshika will give us a better look about her life, about her work experience, her past experience, everything you need to know about how to get into marketing, and so on and so forth. She is definitely a big decision maker in marketing, and she has a lot of work experience. And I feel like she'll help us out, especially the people who are very doubtful about how to get in, what to do once you get in, and so on and so forth. So, Anshika, without any further ado, uh, welcome to the podcast. Uh, Let's Sell in India community welcomes you with open arms.
Hi Rahul, thanks a lot for having me here on
Amazing.
Let's Celebrate Community. And I'm glad that I you have given me a chance to be a part of this. And yeah,
That's amazing, amazing. All right. So first of all, let's just give me a brief description about yourself to our viewers regarding what you do, what's your area of expertise, and you may add, anything that's interesting about yourself that the community doesn't know already.
so, Rahul, as you have already introduced me, I am Anshika and I am working as a PR specialist at Mivi. And originally, I'm from Kanpur, which is a small town. I don't know whether you guys know about it or not. It's based in Uttar Pradesh. And my biggest, my major area of expertise is influencer marketing. So, I collaborate with a lot of influencers to get or to promote the brand. And before maybe I was working with an agency where I had a chance to collaborate with a lot of brands with and a lot of influencers across genres. So that was my that agency gave me a kick to this and I that was my first encounter to influencer marketing. Before that, even I didn't knew that this could be such a big India is growing so rapidly in terms of influencer marketing, and every brand is promoting through influencer marketing and generating a lot of sales and doing a lot of branding activities through influencer marketing. Earlier, like traditional marketing is no more, or this in fact goes hand in hand with the traditional marketing as well. Earlier we have just seen that advertisement was limited to just television or to newspapers or to radio. But now through this social media, through this era of internet and social media, there are a lot of channels being developed. So yeah,
Yeah.
majorly I have expertise in influencer marketing and PR.
That's lovely. Influencer, you're in luck right now, Anshika. I feel like the community really likes influencer marketing because it's a very new term. It's a term that's barely coined like just 10 years ago, latest, right? I mean earliest, uh, and it's definitely a growing thing in India right now. I'm
Yeah,
looking right now.
not even 10 years.
Yeah,
Not even 10 years. I think it's been just 6 7 years max.
exactly. Like I feel like the earliest influences that comes in my head, definitely Smosh, one of the biggest channels. I'm not sure like many of you know that or not, but Smosh is one of the earliest skits kind of channel in based from US, but they very quickly like started becoming like corporate and all that, and that was when I first realized like, oh, like they're actually like getting investors, they're actually getting money for having that kind of viewership. So yeah, definitely, like I think barely like 5-10 years ago was the earliest when we saw influencer marketing come into the market and actually be a possibility. And I feel like this is the path to the future. This is how we can go forward as a whole, as a as a marketing community. Like right now no one talks about radio, and if you think about it, radio was only a thing, like was the biggest thing possible like 30, 40 years ago. Literally in like 3 decades the whole market is wiped out now, and it's barely like there right now, and most people are marketing either on TV or online. So
Correct.
yeah, so definitely have an open mind to influencer marketing. I know right now it's like sounds like maybe maybe not, but this is going to be the future, and either you hop on the train or not. But we're definitely heading to the future, and we're gonna this definitely has an opportunity and a lot of returns that they can give to your business. So yeah, I feel like Anshika can tell us a lot about it. So in your LinkedIn bio, I noticed it says, quote, I'll quote, I'm responsible for building and executing integrated influencer marketing campaigns, blending appropriate elements of marketing that includes market and customer research, industry events, direct marketing, digital and social, and outreach engines such as tele and emails. What is some advice, unquote, what is some advice you would like to share to business owners that do not believe in the ROI of influencer marketing, or I would rather say social media marketing, or even online marketing, where Facebook and Google ads even group in? Some people believe in Facebook and Google ads more than influencer marketing. Which do you believe is better for brand building? Is it the big platforms and their advertisements, or is it the influencer marketing?
See, I personally believe that, marketing is very vast, and it's, you cannot limit it to just one kind of marketing. You need to set your hands on Google, Facebook ads also. You need to set your hands on influencer marketing also, traditional marketing also, if you have a budget, if you have such a huge budget of commercial advertising, TVCs, or newspaper advertising, then you should because you need to reach out to more and more people, and some set of people, like millennials or Gen Z, are mostly using Instagram and Facebook, but some of them are just using, like our parents. They might also be a target audience, but they are mostly using television or newspapers,
Hmm.
right? Still, so everything goes hand in hand, and brands should experiments brand owners should experiment, and then only they should decide that which is the best mode of generating ROI, or which mode is getting them better audience reach, wider audience reach. And influencer marketing is, of course, since I have a huge experience in influencer marketing, it's one of the upcoming field, and it's already every brand is experimenting in it. Even local brands, local regional brands are doing a lot of influencer marketing. They are targeting their audience through local and niche influencers, who have a bang on target audience, and a target range where the audience interest lies. So a lot of brands, I would not name any brand, but a lot of brands are generating through affiliate links also. So if you'll see, Amazon affiliate is the biggest affiliate program. So a lot of influencers and are generating revenue through that affiliate links also. And a lot of brands, like who is providing cashback or discounts or coupons, they generate revenue through influencer marketing mostly. And many other brands, big time brands also, they develop a brand loyalty through influencers, and they generate ROI as well as branding. So it goes for, it's just, it's wrong to say that influencer marketing is only for branding purpose. I think so it's both. It's for both.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. I definitely feel like you have a point. Just to add an asterisk here, just to go a little sidetrack here, to give some influencers who are watching right now, or wannabe influencers. She was talking about affiliate marketing. To see this in reality, this is basically like every time you see in the description of an influencer's video, or in the comment section, they'll share a link. That link is actually heading up to a product. Of course, if that link is for a product, that link will head to a product, and if you buy, they get a cut out of it. Or if you open that link, they get like slight percentage out of the kind of purchase you will make there on forth. So that is affiliate marketing in action. So yeah, that I feel like I just need to like address that there. But yeah, definitely I feel like any business that is coming online, and feels like they want to market online, definitely experiment a lot. It doesn't hurt, right? The more you will know कि कैसे क्या होता है, I feel like it's only like a learning experience. And हो सकता है like all of them work, because online marketing में there is like there is very less chance of having a there's very less chance of having like, oh, like crap, this didn't work at all. Like हाँ हो सकता है if, but that's not gonna be because of the platform itself. That's gonna be because of you did something wrong and you can learn, because these marketing techniques are well known to be like working very well for so many companies. So it's not the fault of the platform itself, it's rather fault of like what you are doing right now, and you can like gradually improve or learn from people, and then like then add on like these multiple marketing techniques, diversify your marketing techniques, so that you can like have the benefit from all of these possibilities. So yeah, definitely I feel like that was a very good piece of pearl of advice. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
There's another question I wanted to ask you about this. And this is a little more, this has a little more philosophical take on it. And I know we talked prior to this, and you have a very exciting take on this. Yeah. So, are you happy, that we prefer the lifestyle that we are living today, with short attention spans, and we are glued to our phones, but we are always connected and have access to so much of information all the time? Does this affect your marketing tactics at all? But let's take a more philosophical take on it as well. What's your say?
So I let keeping aside the you know keeping aside the role that I am into,
Yeah,
or my job role. If I have to take a philosophical approach on this, I will definitely say that it's always our mind versus the mind of the computer. And if you'll see, I don't know whether you've seen this documentary
social
on
dilemma.
Netflix, the social. Yes.
Amazing. It's amazing.
So right. So even it says that how Google, YouTube, and Facebook and Instagram are designed to keep you hooked to the phone, so that they can show you ads in between, and they can this is how they earn revenue. And I personally, I am if you'll ask me on a personal note, my screen time is mostly between 10 to 11 hours in a day, which is very very a lot, right? I'm always glued to my phone. Whenever I get up, I have to see my phone, and whenever I go off to sleep, I'll keep it below my pillow, and then go off to sleep, which is not at all a healthy practice, to be very honest.
Yeah.
And I think so that um yeah so like I told you that it's always our mind versus the mind of the computer, and somehow computer mostly wins, right?
Mhm.
So the technology that connects us also controls us.
Correct. Correct.
So it's up to us that how to react, and how to divide your time, and how to how, because this is not a healthy lifestyle that we are glued so much. I know it's very important, it's very necessary to stay connected, and we should always figure out some time that okay, we'll at least we should manage our time, that okay, we'll spend just 2 hours in a day consuming all the material on social media, or we'll just spend 2 to 3 hours in a day, and we'll but intake good things from the social media, and not all the crap that is going on,
Yeah.
right? So um yeah, so my take on this is very simple, that you should always have a healthy lifestyle, and you should restrict yourself, and you should know that what's good and what's bad, what kind of information is good to consume, what kind of information is not good to consume. And even you've seen with the with this what's upcoming WhatsApp, this WhatsApp has emerged as a main source of chatting right now. We don't want to get connected on calls, we just want to okay, drop a WhatsApp, we'll see, right? So,
Yeah.
and this has generated a lot of fake news, this has generated a lot of political issues also. So yeah, so technology is always it's up to you that how to you should control the technology, not let the technology control you. You
Mm.
should control your mobile, not the other way around. It should not be the other way around. You
Yeah.
should not
Yeah.
the technology control you.
I 100% agree with this. I mean, there's only like a fool would not agree to this, because that's absolutely true, and that's actually the solution to a lot of problems that we are facing today. I know, again, I don't, I really hate getting into politics, but because you slightly brought up the politics and we had to talk about WhatsApp, I can't resist myself but state this, that with the current situation in India right now, where our current government is talking about so and so policies that are going to restrict the online communication. I feel like, of course, I'm not going to state my opinion, or I'm going to ask you for your opinion, but I feel like, yes, social media especially can be a very strong tool to have complete like misinformation spread at a very big rate. And I feel like, be it this policy gets ahead or not, I feel like us Indians, because there are a lot of Indians coming online right now, and coming online right now for the first time ever in an environment that has been working for tens of years, by the way, in US. So they are foolproof to the platforms are foolproof to spread that kind of messaging at a very large scale. But we have to understand very well of how to use social media, and actually how to be aware of what kind of news you're consuming. I feel like India mein jo news bhi hai can get slightly hyped sometimes, can get slightly exaggerated sometimes, but we have to be more aware about what are the news you're consuming. We have to be a bit more open minded, and we have to do a lot of research in
Correct.
everything we believe. In
And you should
everything.
always use it for for helping others, for in fact benefiting yourself also, and to and to help others, right, rather than just to spread hatred and
Of course,
other
yeah.
such stuff, spreading negativity. You should always use it for your own benefit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Exactly. I feel like this is a very strong tool, and this tool has, like, this is a huge tool. If we use this the right way, we are like, literally, there's no stopping us, right? As a humanity. But if we use it the wrong way, again, there is no stopping us. We can literally destroy ourselves like to ground zero, or build ourselves as a community,
Correct.
as humans, to a super large scale. Like, I feel like this is something Gary Vaynerchuk says a lot of times. Keep delete the app. Like, no one's forcing you, no one's like asking you for money. It's completely free. So it's like all right for them to have that many ads. And coming back to your social dilemma topic, कि teenagers और child पे कैसा impact पड़ता है with all the social media, that's such a tricky topic, because I feel like my generation very specifically grew up with social media. I had Instagram in grade 7. So this creates a lot of body image issues to so many kids. I mean, I'm not talking about myself here, but this creates like, this is something you see in social dilemma, right? This उसमें example देता है कि छोटी सी लड़की है, she gets trolled by some random private accounts कि उसकी नाक बड़ी है, ये है वो है जो भी है, and then she gets like so like insecure about these kind of things, and then they want like to change themselves. They're not happy with themselves, and that is something you can very quickly fall into a trap.
Correct.
But don't be
Huh.
confident about who you are, and be open-minded with what you look at online or even on TV these days, and then do a lot of your own research to understand कि भाई, okay, ये news है and this is my take on it. I will do my research. This so and so and so, so and so and so. Okay, now this is my opinion on it. You can do that, yes, but don't just read the headline and say, oh, ye ho gaya. Oh, now I hate this guy, or now I hate this girl.
Correct. Just don't
Don't.
make a blind decision, or do not just follow anything blindly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%. I feel like I'm into influencer marketing as well. And I feel like we both really, really like want you to know this, because influencer marketing, yes, like this is what we do, but we need to like tell people, hey, all right, like, yes, be online, so and so and so, but be careful as well. This can be a trap. Many people like can cheat you. Many people can say bad things to you, but be more open minded. So I mean, I'll definitely close the conversation here. This is a long conversation. We can talk about this all day, but in some other podcast I probably will, but I have a lot more interesting questions to ask you. So let's hop on to the next one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, this is a good one. This is a good one. What is your philosophy when it comes to marketing in Industry 4.0, or the fourth industrial revolution, as they call it? How have you been marketing in your work experience so far with your past companies, or do you have one and rather prefer to keep it simple? So like, you don't have any marketing tactics, or some sort of philosophy about it, and you just keep it simple. All right, we'll just do Google ads, or we'll just do influencer marketing, that's it. Or do you have like a very like good philosophy about ki okay, marketing industry 4.0 mein ye hai, and what are the opportunities and stuff like that.
So when it comes to, I'll say that, it doesn't matter how much I learn, there is always something new awaiting to be discovered, right? You cannot just follow one path. You just cannot, go blindly कि okay, ये चीज़ है और हम यही करेंगे, या ये ब्रांड ये चीज़ कर रही है तो ये हमारे लिए भी वर्कआउट करेगा, right? So you will have to, again experiment it. Again आपको कोई एक कोई, there is no one way to it.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Okay. So see, always there are some new tools that you can use to automate your process and make it faster. Okay. There are, and I would like to thanks to the, this growth of digital platforms and social media, brands have now more gadgets and online platforms at their fingertips to market their products to the consumers,
Mm.
than ever before.
Yeah, yeah, true, and it's
Of course,
growing.
it thrives on change, innovation, and the latest technologies.
Yeah,
you know so there's no one way to it. In my previous companies, there was this one company which was mostly into offline marketing,
mm.
right? Their marketing didn't work so well, and mostly, apart from, of course, this email and SMS were there, but there was no influencer marketing. But that company was also doing very well, and we were mostly into, offline marketing and events and everything, right? But now, since due to this COVID situation, I'm sure that they must have also evolved and must have, switched to another mode of marketing.
Yeah,
So yeah, there's no one way to,
yeah, there's no like
go
one
about it.
formula, secret formula. Yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like the key sentence that you just said here was, if some other brand is doing this and you copy that, even though they might be a direct competition, that specific, like just copying that specific formula and like pasting it yourself, yes, that might work, might not work, but either way you're copying and you're no more the leader of your market or your industry. I feel like anytime that you want to have a marketing like tactic in place, definitely like consult people like Anshika, or like people like influencer marketing, like people who are in your company, or get in touch with Anshika and she might help you out. And and then from there on, you can discuss like how to get it forward, and don't just copy like exactly what they are doing. Because if you're doing that, you're secondary. You don't have an individual like taste or feel to your brand. But if you want to have that individual feel to your brand, like I'll give an example. There is I'm working with a few companies here and there right now, and I keep talking with a few of them. So I feel like some companies especially are so good at this. So I'll give an example. I thought of one, but that's not a good one. For example, apple Apple versus Microsoft, the classic example, right? Apple, even though like came after Microsoft, and even though Microsoft was the big deal before Apple, still Apple found a way to outgrow them. And that was not by copying the same marketing tactics. What Apple was able to do well, or even the same thing that Elon Musk is doing right now, was able to give a face to a brand. Because just a brand is not necessarily that that not that easily relatable to, that's not easily very easily trustable. But if you have a face to a brand, and you push that face, and that guy has amazing philosophies, and serves people by having inspiring quotes, or by having like motivational quotes like Steve Jobs did as well. And I know that just you just told me about this, that connecting the dots played a huge role in your life, and we'll talk about that as well. But just like that, or like even we see this, I had a blog post about this, even we see this with Elon Musk. A single tweet of his, and he completely makes a rift in the cryptocurrency industry. So like that is the kind of power that good branding and face to the brand can have. And that is something you need to thrive for. So that is how Apple outgrew Microsoft, I feel like, because of Steve Jobs, because of that face that came in. Oh, Apple, I know Steve Jobs. Like that guy stands for think different. That guy stands for this, motto of his, and he does everything different. He does everything sleek, and of course, your product and service should also be good. If you're marketing absolute crap, is you might get a lot of eyeballs, but then they'll very quickly realize you have nothing to serve here. So have a good product in place, have a good service in place. And when you're marketing, yes, definitely, like, look for ways, look, of course, study your competition, but don't copy that exactly. Like, have a personal an individual flavor to your brand, because that's gonna, like, that's gonna, like, have a rocket ship experience of growth. So I feel like that's something you should really thrive for. And I feel like that key sentence, I was trying to, like, get more into, but yeah, definitely, Anshika, you're absolutely right. There is no secret formula to this.
Yeah.
So how did you, let's get more into your personal experience and more of you as a person. So I'll just give a bit more context to this question before I ask you this. As a child, 3-year old, 4-year old, 5-year old, my mind was, okay, I'll be a cricketer. And then when I grew to 8, 9, and then I realized, okay, cricket, I'm not that athletic. I'm not the best out of my friends, so I'll most probably not make it to the Indian cricket team. So I should think of getting into acting. So because acting doesn't very quickly tell you that you're bad, right? Cricket definitely does. You get out on the first ball. But acting, I was like, all right, I'll become an actor. And then it grew into, okay, now I'm in grade 9, so I'll become an engineer, because that's the path. That's what you should do. And especially in India, that's a big deal. Yeah. Either medical or engineer. There are a lot of people that still think that way, but of course, a lot of people have
Well,
outgrown that mentality. A lot of people are more accepting of other fields. But marketing definitely did never came into my mind as a child or as a teenager कि भाई मेरे को marketing में जाना है. So I feel like that should be a thing, because marketing is basically selling. If and selling is the most important skill. Warren Buffett said this, that he said that if he was 18 and he had to, like, repeat everything he had just done, he would learn how to sell. And that's what we do. And I feel that's a very important skill, and kids should know that this is a occupation, this is a thing. So coming back to you, how did you get introduced into the field of marketing in the first place? Because as children,
so
occupations like astronaut come into mind before marketing. So,
yeah.
were you different,
Well,
or did you have a mindset of कि by marketing ही करना
नो, तब तक तो मार्केटिंग का मतलब भी नहीं पता था, राहुल, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट। सो द थिंग
है?
इज कि व्हेन आई वाज in third or fourth standard, or whenever a teacher used to ask me कि what you would become, so like every other person, either doctor or engineer, so I always used to say that I'll do engineering, because उसके अलावा कुछ और पता ही नहीं था. So I always used to say this, but then when once I reached 9, 10, I was like, no, chemistry is not my cup of tea. I cannot become I cannot take science. So I ended up taking commerce. I ended up selecting commerce as a subject in my class 11th and 12th. And then once in 12th, I got a very good percentage, and very good score in accounts and economics and other commerce related subjects. So all my teachers boasted my morale that you should pursue chartered accountancy and you should go for it. And till then I was like, okay, it's a good source of income, and I'll end up doing chartered accountancy. And I cleared two papers in one go, and I
Oh wow.
cleared my two papers. And then then I was like, what the hell am I doing? And I'm not liking it, and I cannot, I am not so good with numbers, and I cannot do this, right? Although my papers were cleared. So when I went to my father and I said that I cannot do this, I just cannot do this. My father owns a shop, so I was like, I can sit in your shop, but I cannot do this, right? I'm not loving it. I cannot see myself as a chartered accountant. So he was like, are you like every other parent, that you have cleared the examinations and still you are, it requires a rigorous studies, and you should pursue it and your future will be set. But then my mother, of course, have always supported me, and my father also. I convinced him, and I was like, कि ये तो मैं नहीं करूँगी, और कुछ भी देखा जाएगा. I don't know what I have to do, but I'll not do this. So then my cousin, I have an elder cousin, so he said that he was into banking, and he said that okay, if you're not liking numbers, if you're not liking to, if you're not able to cope with the Excel, or if you don't like working on Excel sheets, then do you like PPT? Do you like making PPTs, presentations? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. So then he said that you should pursue, MBA.
Mm.
Go for MBA in go for MBA in marketing. Marketing is the field for you. and that's how I ended up in marketing, and I pursued my MBA, and then I got a college placement, and that's how the journey began. So even I didn't knew that till my graduation that what I need to do. I just like every regular kid who doesn't have any clue what to do in life,
Yeah.
right? But I always I my instincts, and I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs. So he quoted, right, you have to trust your instincts, and the dots will connect in the future, and you cannot they cannot connect in the past, so you cannot look backward, and then once you move ahead, then only the dots will connect. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's how it was. I always um
Because
I have to trust that it will work out in the future.
yep, yep. And especially like that instinct, that gut feeling. I feel like a lot of people get numb to it over a while, and they just silence that gut feeling, and they say, no, 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 no. I'll do what my brain says. I'll think first, not feel. And I feel like I've done that a couple of times myself as well, because that's the most logical thing to do. But I'll say from personal experience, that has never really worked out well. Like I'll give an example. Just in मेरा जो high school था, I talked myself into it कि भाई grade 9 grade 11 I talked myself into it. No, no, logical thing, I need to get into engineering. Logical thing, I need to do this because मेरे parents हैं, my dad is software engineer, so he's gonna help me out, right? Like if he has gone through this path, there's a lot of help and guidance that I'll get. And मैंने कभी like none of our like family relatives, at least the first family relatives, are not into business, so I'm not gonna get any guidance. I'm not gonna get any tips or get a help or whatever. Even their networks are completely different. How will I sustain? So business is something I should not take, and I should focus on software engineering. And that's something I talk myself into, and I can tell for a fact, if I would have gone into like commerce or into marketing, had I known that marketing was a thing in the first place, I would have done very well. And I mean, having that said, I did well, guys. Mom, especially you watching, like, I did well. But I would have done way better if I had been into something that I really liked. And look, your instinct finds a way. You can block it all you want, you can dodge it all you want, but your instinct and your gut feeling will find a way, because your heart wants to do it. Like once you're biased ki, bhai, I want to try it, then you will eventually try it. You might fail, you might leave, okay, but you will try it for sure. And if you really like listen to your gut feeling and follow it, what happens is you are able to work better, because now you're not working, you're playing, and you can play all the time, right? And once you get into that work mentality, because for me, physics and, like you said, chemistry was absolute work. Like biology, I was like still good in, like CS I was still good in, but like this math I really like. But whenever it came to physics and chemistry, I really had like, my tuition teachers can agree to this, and they will leave like mean comments like, you were the reason my hair is gray now. But I really didn't understand anything, and I really had to like force myself to working. So if you just listen to your gut feeling, you might end up with something good. You might end up with something good, and at the least of it, at least you enjoy it, right? So I feel like,
Correct. There
that
is no point in pursuing anything which you don't enjoy, because I don't see a point.
absolutely.
Maybe you'll, yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like your banker relative really played a big role in your life. Yeah.
Yeah, correct, correct. And I'll tell you. So when I did my MBA, so again I took dual specialization, finance and marketing. I had a strong background in finance, so I was like, okay, I'll still, I thought that I'll still, let's get an internship in finance. And then when I went for an internship in finance, so I ended up in a marketing department, and there also the superior person who was there, who was heading marketing, he said that why are you pursuing finance, and HR are always the cider parts of a company, and marketing is the core. So I was like, okay, he has also guided me towards marketing only, now I have to go for marketing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, if your calling is CA, then become a CA. But if you're whatever your calling is, like you can, I'll give an example again. You can become, if you want, if you like cutting hair, if you like styling things. Okay, great. You don't have to become like a poor barber, you can become the best in your industry and end up styling things for Shah Rukh Khan. Who knows? Like, don't ever just like drop ideas because oh, it's my paisa nahi. Oh, it's my like my parents said this. Don't do this because even though your parents really love you and that is why they do this, they want you to have a
Correct.
safer path in life. And because they know ki, okay, if you want
Correct.
to cut hair, there's going to be a very challenging task to end up cutting hair, styling things for Shah Rukh Khan and his films. It's going to be very challenging. But if
Hmm.
you really like it, you should give it a shot. What if you end up becoming like Shah Rukh Khan's right hand stylist, right? Isn't that a good thing? You'll earn good money and you'll
Correct.
do something you love.
You need to select one path and you need to follow that, and then
Yeah.
there is no looking back.
No looking back. Yes. No. If you look back, then that's regret. Then you're like, oh, I could have used these 3 years for something else. That's not how you look at it.
Correct.
You look at okay, these 3 years I learned this, and now I'm gonna do something else. And these 3 years are gonna help better my mentality and better my mindset because I have a new skill now. Same like Steve Jobs. He went into a calligraphy class. He went to India for like I think a few months. He did all that. He didn't think about it as waste time. What he did was his calligraphy skills he used into his Mac, and that is the reason why we have the fonts that we have in MS Word today. Because and he said that himself. Because and I quote him, because Microsoft basically copied Apple, and Apple has fonts because I learned this from a calligraphy class. So whenever anyone uses a different font in Word, that's basically because Steve Jobs took a calligraphy class. So if so, I'm sure his parents would be like,
Correct.
calligraphy, like there's no future in it. But look, it worked well.
Yes.
So that's definitely key. But there's one thing I need to deep dive into, Anshika. There are two things actually. First is how can like I know this was not something we discussed prior to this, but how can schools really prepare their kids? Yeah, because I end up blaming schools, but to be fair, they can't really teach you for something there isn't a job yet. So, for example, influencer marketing, you are an influencer marketer, but that was never a thing, even like a few years back, like we said. But how can schools prepare kids for becoming influencer marketers while schools are so conventional and so up in the past that the only thing they teach is like sciences, because science is something that we
I would
only learned 300 years ago, and we have never changed our education system until today. So how can we prepare our kids?
see. I would say that there's no specific. You don't know what will be upcoming in future. So you should train kids to be more practical and rather than just giving them theoretical knowledge, there should be more and more practical classes and practical training and practical sessions in
Yeah.
schools. Maybe you can learn through a film also a lot of things which you can't do in general life, right? So
Yeah.
there should be the school model should be, the teaching model should be more of practical based and training based rather than just um, giving them theoretical knowledge and whatever is written in the book. I know that the course needs to be covered, and it's a guideline that this course will be asked in CBSE examinations or in
Yeah.
ISC examinations. Apart from that also, teachers or the mentors should always give them practical knowledge and should tell kids, and whatever they are teaching should they should relate through practical examples only.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess what, Anshika, your formula has been copied by Elon Musk already. So this is what Elon Musk also does, like you said, which is completely in line with what he does. Elon Musk and his few other parent friends that are at very high levels, they all trusted on Elon Musk and said, okay, they will all send their kids. Like there are like 5 6 parents other than himself, who are sending all their
Hmm.
kids to Elon's SpaceX factory. So what they do is all those kids they're getting experience into like aeronautical engineering by being on that factory, by being on such a revolutionary company's factory, and they're learning so much. And like instead of there's something he says, like instead of like teaching kids how to like screw, or like how to like use a wrench to screw, like you don't have to teach that, just show it, and that's it, right? Instead of like cramming things up, that's such a better approach. And even with what you said, like I feel like this is only going to get worse or more difficult to, or rather more difficult to manage for schools, because now there are even going to be more and more jobs that no one really knows what they're going to be. So the only thing you can really teach them, which is going to be valuable and sticks to them till the end, is how to adapt, which is something you very
Adapt, right?
very well phrased. Yeah. So the second question I wanted to dive deeper into with you was the thrilling experience before you have that talk with your parents to either drop out or change your career, or or change your degree. How was that thrilling experience before? How did you talk yourself into कि भाई नहीं मैं बात करके रहूंगी? Because so many people are stuck because that slight hump कि भाई नहीं नहीं मैं बात नहीं कर सकता हूँ because my parents are gonna kill me, right? And how did you talk yourself into it? What was the before of that conversation with your dad and mom about कि मेरे को नहीं जम रहा है सीए बनना? What, like, did you talk to your friends? Did you, yes.
So, so no, I think so. Parents are your best friends, and they'll always have, they will guide you much better, and they will always, um, their intent will never be wrong. They might be a little, what do you, what should I say, conservative when
Mm,
it comes to choosing career options, but their intent will never be wrong, right?
mm,
So I think so you should always talk to your parents rather than talking to your friends, and they'll definitely understand. And I think so, kids these days, if you'll talk to them, 50% of them, Gen Z wants to become either a blogger or a fashion blogger or a YouTuber, or a wants to make a profile on Instagram and get a lot of followers. Pursue that. There's no harm in doing it. Of course, you should pursue whatever you want to become. You should trust your instincts. You should talk to your parents. I am sure you should. They will listen. They will see that if their kid is not happy in doing whatever he is currently doing, then they'll definitely they at the end your happiness is what matters to them the most. And you should just you should sit and you should talk to them, and you should try to convince them that okay, if this is not, but you should go with the solution rather than just going. You cannot just leave that, okay, I am not able to do this, but I will not do anything. You cannot say this. You should, if you're
yeah,
not good at something, you must be good at something, right? So you should go to them that okay, if I'm not able to do this, but I'll definitely, this is my passion, this is my, this is what I love to do, and this is what I'll do.
yeah.
Even though if I'll end up earning a little less than my friends or family or relatives, but this is what I want to do.
Mm, mm. Yeah,
So
and
people should,
yeah, pitch your idea.
I would like to, quote over here Three Idiots also very well. That film has also depicted the same thing well, very
Correct.
nicely. So you should, go and talk to your parents. I'm sure they'll, understand.
Yeah, and I feel like what you said, which I didn't bring up prior. I don't know why. You said that movies teach you a lot, and I just got reminded by your quoting Three Idiots part. You really learn a lot more from films. Like if it's a good film, you can learn so much from it. Be it Three Idiots. Three Idiots basically changed like so many people's lives, so many people's mindset. And another favorite movie of mine is Wolf of Wall Street. Even though that's not very PG or very clean,
Correct.
I don't want to follow him exactly, but that kind of lifestyle, like, and what I'm most impressed from is his thinking, his the way he thinks. That's something I even learned from
Hmm.
Narcos. Like Narcos, of course, that doesn't mean
Correct.
I want to be a drug dealer, but you look at Narcos and you look at how he deals with business. The way he thinks is so different and is so like mind blowing that you can learn so much from these people. So I feel like, yeah, definitely feel free to talk to your parents, and most of the times they will help you out, or if they're saying something to do so, of course they come from a good place, definitely. But if you're very sure कि नहीं भाई मेरे को नहीं जम रहा है, then why not change it or drop out, or do follow your passion. But I feel like before completely going, like, of course you change your degree because you didn't like the field, which was a very smart thing to do. But many people drop out. I feel like for dropouts, what you should do is first try to manage both things at once. So because like you brought this topic up, many people want to be influencers, many people want to be like into blogging or making videos and all sorts of things. Yes, it's a very good thing to do, and especially in India right now, it's a growing market. Like I'm seeing, like if I was an influencer, I would have, like, with a like small amount of money, I would literally fly out to Mumbai right now and do so and so things. And I know for a fact that would work, because I've seen so many influencers, I've talked to so many influencers, and there's so much you can do and bring to India. But I feel like, but I feel like if you're doing that, you should be able to even manage studies, even manage like academics for a while, at least until you know कि भाई ये चल रहा है, or until it takes up more time and you have to drop something out. So do try running both
You
things
can
at
follow
once.
your passion at any point of life. If you're working also and if you want to become a blogger, you can start blogging then and there. So you can, first pursue your studies, finish your studies, and then you can, go and fulfill your passion. So it's both ways. Whatever,
No,
works
no, yeah.
the best.
100%, 100%. And if you want to do it right now as well, you can do it, but try managing both things at once. Because if you can't manage these two things at once, you are very likely to not being able to, manage this full time as well. Because what happened? Okay, I'll give an example again. Like if you want to be an influencer, especially, I feel like you should be able to manage both of these things at once. But if you're starting a company and this is taking way too much of your time, and you feel like if I drop out university, this will give me like an extra 5 hours a day that I can spend into my company and help it grow. Sure, do it, right? If you believe in your idea enough, if you believe in your passion enough, go follow it, right? For sure. But if you can manage these two things, try manage these two things for the most amount of time, because something beautiful happens by doing that is that you have no risk. It's a very calculated like step. उससे क्या है कि it's not like oh अगर मैं अब company नहीं चली then I'm like complete failure. No, that's not a thing. You're just coming back to class tomorrow and you'll be just like other kids with some more experience. So I feel like do that first. And agar laga ki bhai now I'm not able to manage, drop out. Sure, why not? Follow your passion, follow your dreams. Like that's definitely the step to take. I just thought like I should clarify this because that's my take on it.
Yeah.
Many
No,
billionaires
no.
talk about
Yeah.
dropping
Yeah.
out. What do you do, Anshika? If you had like a good business idea and you had to drop out of your marketing education, or rather MBA marketing, right? If you had to drop it out, would you value continuing your MBA marketing, or would you value uh, having this marketing startup, or for example, having a business startup, or wanting to be an influencer?
So like you said, I would have managed both, or else if if I would have not been able to manage both, I would have definitely completed my studies first. And then because I can wait for a couple of years or maybe 1 year to start it off, and I would have done my background research and everything, you know
Yeah,
in the meanwhile, and full-fledgedly I would have started. So to all the kids, I would definitely say that first finish your studies, first finish your academics, and then pursue your whatever you want to do. There's no there's no a particular time, there's not a particular time when you have to drop it out and then only you can pursue it. You try to finish it, and then you can definitely start pursuing your career, fashion, and everything can go side, hand in hand.
yeah, yeah,
You can do it simultaneously also, if
yeah.
you have that will, you have that feeling that you have to do it, then you will figure out a way that how can you manage your time.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's that's this conversation. If you like any person like who is in their transformative years and they're still like thinking about it, like don't think anymore. Just like listen to this clip and just execute. That's it. If you that's exactly what Anshika just said. Follow that really. I mean, of course, don't. If it doesn't work out well, don't come after Anshika for this. It's just an entertainment podcast, guys. Don't come suing us. All right. uh, what would you tell is the best way to find out if marketing is the right job for you?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
What would you, yeah, no worries. What would you tell is the best way to find out if marketing is the right job for you? Because I know a lot of marketers and they are introverts, yet they're very good marketers. So, what would you tell is the best way to know if you are, if marketing is the calling for
Marketing is all about, you adapting to change. If you can adapt to change, if you can, if it involves a little bit of creativity also, but if you can, I think so, if you can adapt to change, and if you can think that, if you can find out a solution, if there's a roadblock, if there's a blockage, and if you can find out a solution to it, you can definitely get into marketing. For instance, before this COVID, pre-COVID, companies were, working on a different scale, and they were working differently. Their marketing tactics were also very different. A lot of companies were into offline marketing, and they were spending huge amounts of their budgets on offline marketing. But now, since due to COVID, offline marketing is, it's not being done. And so they have switched to, digital marketing and online marketing. So yes, anybody can be a marketer if you know how to, how to adapt to change. If you can figure it out a solution, you can, become a marketing expert.
Mm, mm. Right. Very well said, Anshika. I feel like absolutely right for this. Um, I feel like sometimes it's not that natural of a calling, कि भाई marketing, like मेरे को marketer ही बनना है, because it's something you don't really know exactly क्या करना है, what exactly is the job description. But I feel like yes, adapting to change, if you can adapt to change very well, which you should, even as a human, not only as a marketer, even as a human, you should be able to adapt to change. If you're good at that, you will be a good marketer, because markets change all the time. Consumers go here and there, change their perspectives all the time. So yeah, definitely. If you can adapt to change, marketing could be a good path for you. And also like network with people, talk to some of the marketers, get to know what they do.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe,
and
maybe
and
yeah.
if you don't want to just live a bored monotonous life, then also you should get into marketing because marketing is always, very what do you it will keep you on your toes, and you'll always keep thinking of new and better ways and innovative ways. So yes, otherwise, of course, you'll have to experiment again like I did. I didn't knew what to do. Then you need to, because nobody knows what, even you and I, Rahul, how much, how much experts we become. Then also, there's always something new to learn. There's always, there's a lot of things that we still don't know in marketing, right? So marketing is very huge. It's just, you cannot learn it through via books. You need to experiment, and you need to come on ground and see that what needs to be done. So
100%.
no book can marketing.
And things are only growing as things become more online, as things are getting more online, like even this vast study is getting even more vast, and it's completely impossible to know it all, right? So yeah, yeah, you're right. So all right, what are the, okay, here it comes. What are the top three pieces of advice you would like to share to an 18 or 20-year old who's watching the show right now and aspires to get into marketing? So usko adapt to change pasand hai, he's talked to some people, he feels like marketing is the right thing for him. What are the top three advices you would tell him how to get into this field?
See, I personally think that, now here I would like to quote The Alchemist. If you think that, if you want to really do something, then the entire universe conspires you to, get into that field, and you'll figure it out a way. So to any 18-year-old, or to anyone who wants to pursue marketing, you will have to be patient enough. You'll have to be persistent, and you just cannot, if you've selected this as a field, if you have selected this as your career option, then you need to, really work hard, and you need to, be dedicated. to your job and to the work that you have been doing, and you have to be very consistent enough to, and you just, there will be a lot of failures also. There will be, sometimes you'll fail, sometimes you will succeed. You don't have to, just because of any failure, you need to learn from it, and you need to, implement it in your next strategy, or in your next campaign, whatever you are doing. So never be disheartened, and you'll have to be consistent, dedicated, and if you really want to get into it, you will definitely get into it. And if you see yourself as a marketing expert, you will get success in it, but you'll have to be very patient, and you will have to be, a dedicated person to yourself,
Hmm,
and you will definitely get success, and you will definitely, achieve success.
hmm, hmm. Very well said. Yeah, I feel like I haven't really watched The Alchemist, guys. I said it. I haven't really watched Alchemist, even though it's an amazing anime, and I feel like I should watch it soon. But ye dialogue. So I have not really heard this dialogue before, but I feel like this is very similar to what Shah Rukh Khan said in what is it, in Om Shanti Om, right? कि पूरी कायनात
Correct, correct, correct.
कोशिश में जुट जाती है कि भाई इसको करना ही है ये. So yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Is there any course or any book or any video or movie that you feel like helped you a lot in your early days of becoming a marketer?
Um, Not really. I have been, I have a big family, so I have always, learned through practical experiences, and my elders, whatever mistakes they have made. So I have, taken inspiration from those, and then I've always taken, I have seen live examples. So it's, I have always seen those, and I've learned from those.
I see, I see. Amazing. I feel like, yeah, practical experiences are always the best, right? They are more likely to stick to you, and you're more likely to learn more out of it. So yeah, definitely. um, okay, this is a question that many people struggle with, and many of my marketing friends struggle with. How do you manage to market without it being too salesy or too direct, or do you prefer it to be upfront or direct?
So sometimes it goes again both ways. You'll have to be sometimes direct, and you'll have to be sometimes, indirect and not too salesy. So being from an influencer marketing background, when I collaborate with influencers, I'll tell you, I do one thing that, maybe whatever the brand says or whatever they want to, the core will be that, but I leave it to the creative expertise of the creator, right? Whatever, because he knows his audience better, he knows
Yeah.
how to create the content. So I'll never, I'll never say that, okay, you don't do this or you don't do that, or you cannot, use normal words, or you just have to speak in English, or you just have to speak in Hindi. So I always leave it to the creative you know instinct of the creator, because he knows his audience better. So he knows, if the creator comes back to me saying that, okay, this will be too direct and this won't be, beneficial for the brand, so so be it. Then I'll go with the creator's instinct, and I'll say that, okay, you know it better, and you give me the best that will work for the brand.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So it has to be, but sometimes, yes, of course, sometimes you will have to be direct also in marketing, and so that, people get to know that, okay, this, if supposingly, if any brand, if any, just to quote an example, if any sale is going on, you will have to tell the offers to the customers directly only, and you'll have to, tell them that to go and shop at this point of time. So that's direct. So again, it's both hand in hand, it goes hand in hand. Sometimes you'll have to be, if you want to do it branding, if you want to register it to the customer's mind, you'll have to be, it should not be direct, it should be indirect. But
Hmm.
if you want to generate, revenue, or or if you want to, for one time, you can go direct also, you can ask your audience. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a reputation, but of course you should, you should focus more on indirect rather than direct. But again, it will go hand in hand both ways,
Hmm.
because marketing is about, if you're not able to generate sales, then also.
Correct. I mean, like, yeah, definitely. You should try having it indirect at times, but definitely being direct can help you. Like, I feel like yes, it is completely circumstantial based. Uh, it has a lot of context into it. Sometimes people only have like 15 seconds. Like if you're pitching to someone, pitching to an investor, and it's an elevator pitch, you have barely 20 seconds. If you're lucky enough and the building is tall, maybe 25 seconds, right? So you have only that much time, and you really have to get your point through. So in those bases, in those cases, you have to be very direct and you have to really come to the point. But yes, when you're like promoting with influencers, if like I saw this example where I saw this today itself on Instagram, where Biswa, the comedian Biswa, had collaborated with the company, e-commerce company, and he was using he was using some like soft swear words here and there. And I realized, even though it's such a big company, and I'm sure the company policy says that don't use swear words, but I feel like the marketing team still allowed Biswa to do so because Biswa has that kind of a consumer base. He has that kind of followers who really like him for being very authentic, being very raw when he speaks. And if that resonates better, then why not?
Absolutely.
Yep. Now comes the billion-dollar question: how do you market in India? So let me give some more context to this. India is such a diverse country with people speaking thousands of different languages and dialects. If I'm not wrong, it's 19,000 plus languages and dialects, eating different food, having unique cultures, backgrounds, social norms, and completely variant consumer patterns. It is literally marketing to one in every seven people. So, A, how do you deal with this? And B, do you make multiple pieces of marketing content or strategies to target different consumer groups? Because in US it's simple, yeah. Okay, English में एक ad है, okay, we throw it out there. But even then, US में they're like, okay, East Coast है, West Coast है, then there's Central America, then there's Latin America. Okay, okay, okay. But like India has like so much more culture, has so much more diverse backgrounds. So, do you make multiple pieces of marketing content and strategies to deal with it? And if given your own company to manage, how would you approach influencer marketing and social media marketing? But of course, we'll answer part C later. First, part A and part B. How do you deal with this, and what are your strategies to deal with it?
Okay, so it's a very good question, Raul. The thing is that India is such a diverse country where a lot of it's known for its diversified culture, land, and everything, right?
Yeah,
So you will have to like marketing is all about experimenting, and in India also you'll have to experiment. You have to you'll have to. I'll speak this in context of influencer marketing. If any brand comes to me for doing influencer marketing in all over India, I'll first figure it out. I'll see if it's an established brand. I'll see that I'll do analysis in Google Analytics, and I'll see that which is the target area, geographical area, and then accordingly I'll target those areas in which the presence is not so much,
yeah,
right? But if it's a new brand, if it's a new upcoming brand, or if it's a startup, then I'll definitely I'll end up experimenting. I'll collaborate with influencers all over India, different local influencers, micro influencers, and then I'll figure it out that okay, which region is working the best for me and which region I need to work upon, right?
yeah,
So like marketing, the main essence of marketing is experimenting and adapting to change. So I will definitely experiment more and more, and then figure it out that what which strategy, which region, or which influencer, or which language is working the best for me. I cannot just make one video in Hindi or in English and make that out loud, and I cannot expect that I'll get sale from all over India.
yeah,
I cannot do that. I'll target the particular, segment, particular area, and I'll select the influencers accordingly, and I'll select the influencers from that particular targeted area, and then I'll, strategize my campaign accordingly. Or I have seen a lot of YouTube videos, I have seen a lot of TV series that they'll make one in Hindi, and they'll dub in separate languages, and they'll do, or they'll run the ads accordingly on, if you're in down south, or if you're in Bangalore, if you're in Karnataka, then or if you're in Chennai, then it will play in that particular language. But if you're in up north, it will play in Hindi.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you'll have to experiment, you'll have to see, and then only you'll be able to decide, and then only you can cater to such a big market as of India. India is the seventh largest country.
Wow. I feel like there was something that I wanted to explore more in your statement right now, which was that you will experiment with many different influencers, and you'll even experiment with micro influencers. I feel like a lot of marketers have this dilemma in them: ki, do we go with the biggest possible influencer our marketing budget can afford, or do we go with multiple micro influencers or nano influencers and diversify it out that way? Of course, this is very, this depends completely on what the business like wants to achieve. But what do you think should be a better approach, or rather, what is something you would do for your own business if you had your own, like if you had your own marketing business tomorrow? I mean, a business that you had to market tomorrow. How would you approach influencer marketing?
So, see again, like I said, you will have to experiment it, and I cannot tell you right now that whether I'll go with the bunch of small influencers or any brand. It depends on brand to brand, and it depends on the budgets. And I'll in fact do both. I'll keep on experimenting. I'll partner with small micro influencers. If my business is local based influencers, or if it's into fitness category supposingly, then I'll just target fitness influencers, because their targeted audience will be of my use. So it depends on the brand category also, and it depends on brand niche, brand category. And I will why not, I'll go with the big influencers as well as small influencers. So it will be a blend of both.
Hmm. Hmm.
Both wonders to your business. It's not just one. Both will do wonders to your business.
Yep. That's the key. That's the key. You have to experiment definitely, and I feel like that blend is a very magical place to be in for a company, because you get to see the fruits of both uh, in very different ways, right? The micro influencers and influencers can give you more diversified marketing, and the big ones can definitely boost up, for a quick sale. Like if there is a Diwali sale, that's the best way to reach out to most people, right? You hit the huge influencer, and he gets your message out there. So yeah, it's definitely circumstance based. So uh, one other thing that I wanted to bring up was, you for example, if you had to, like I said, for the part C of this question, if you had your company to manage, of course you would, being an influencer marketing and a PR specialist, you would go into influencer marketing and all. But um, but would you rather, how would you exactly, let me frame this well, because this is something that just popped up in my head. If you had to go forward with a marketing base for your startup, would you follow something like what Elon Musk did? Give a face to the brand, or like I said, Steve Jobs did as well, to Apple. Or would you rather have it ki bhai, it's like a huge corporation, and things are much more conventional based? Or would you uh, rather be more into, like, ye bhi try karte hain, ye bhi try karte. Of course, you said you believe a lot in experimenting, but my basic question is, would you give a personal brand attached with your main brand? Would that be something you would like to take if you had your own startup?
I would like to, but again, वो भी मैं शायद एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग के बाद ही डिसाइड करूंगी कि क्या मेरे ब्रांड के लिए बेस्ट वर्कआउट कर रहा है.
Mm-hmm.
I'll not go directly and
Yeah. Because I feel like growing your own personal brand can be challenging at times. I'm like, this is the first ever podcast, right? Like, I'm still thinking myself into it or out of it, you can say. Because मुझे ये लग रहा है कि if there is any time I ever slip up something bad or talk something and it's taken out of context, and if because this is very common these days, ki bhai, influencers are getting cancelled. If I get cancelled, my business is also cancelled because it's very public information key. I am the face to this business, and that's something you can see with Elon Musk as well. Every tweet he says, like he sees Tesla stocks go up and down. So that is something I'm afraid of. As an influencer marketer, are you scared of that? कि भाई influencers are getting cancelled. What will happen to our brand deal? कि अब इसमें brand deal कर रखा है. Do we will we drop it out, or अब जो previous brand deals है उनका क्या करें? We don't support the actions of the influencer. Is there something you're worried about as an influencer marketer?
I would like to, skip this question.
Oh, okay, sure, definitely. Because I only brought. I know we didn't discuss this prior to this, but I only brought this up because I'll give my perspective on it. I have seen this happen with what do you say, David Dobrik and SeatGeek. SeatGeek is
Hmm.
many people don't know this. SeatGeek is because SeatGeek is a ticket buying company, right? And they sponsored David Dobrik heavily, and this helped both of them grow. Again, I wrote a blog about this. If you want to check out the growth of David Dobrik and SeatGeek, like I had a proper like economic breakdown of how both of them grew like immensely because of the brand deals. So David Dobrik would take the brand deals and make his videos much more high quality, which would drive in more people to watch it. And it was working amazing until David Dobrik got cancelled and the brand deals were dropped out of. But I feel like CG still didn't see any impact on it, and I feel like that is something brands can advantage out of, कि भाई, because the consumers, because the followers of David Dobrik understand, or even any influencer for that sake, they understand कि भाई, okay, like the brand doesn't know it, right? The brand doesn't know कि influencer would do this, so the influencers are one to be blamed, not the brand, because they were only like they were seeing what is being responded to well, and they were only supporting that more. So I feel like yes, that's definitely like there is slight risk to that, right? But I feel like that happens in every case. I'll give you an example. If you have like a sponsored post for some sort of a TV show, or for some sort of a radio show, or even a billboard, some things might not pop off well, and some things might be hated. There are so many ads, TV ads, that are completely hated because they are very like poorly made or so and so forth. Like there's again I won't name this, but there's this one ad where a comedian says कि भाई like पेट खराब है क्या, let's use this, like bro, that ad was so bad, and that was a terrible ad. But and that ad was completely trolled on in social media for a long time. But I feel like this is something, it can happen even influencer marketing, even in normal marketing. So that is definitely always there. If you're out there in the public, wo chance of getting trolled to hota hi hai. But I feel like that is something I've never really seen, influencer ko cancel kiya to brand bhi cancel ho gaya. That I've never really seen that, unless the brand is of that
No,
influence.
this won't ever happen.
Yeah, yes please.
This won't happen that अगर influencer को cancel किया तो brand cancel
Right,
होगा.
right, exactly. Because I had a few brands, like I was talking to a few brands. That was a concern for them. Ki bhai, like, yes, for sure, I would go with influencer marketing, but like, I'm scared. What if they get, like, what if they get canceled? Like, that has never really been a thing. If you're working with influencers that and you're like, all right, he's like a quality influencer. Right now, he's being loved and supported. Like there is like I can't even list one example where brands are being cancelled because of influencers. And most of the time these influencers come back right up, because थोड़ा सा गलती तो हर एक से होता है, right? So most of the times they apologize, and they have a public apology for it. Most times they even walk out of the ventures themselves, like David Dobrik did with his photo company, his platform, social media platform that was trying to build. He dropped all of his shares and walked out of it. And David Dobrik will of course see again a rise in next 2 3 years once he starts improving on his mistakes and accepts it more. So I feel like that is not something that should scare you off. Support influencer marketing, because that's the only way to the future, right? If you don't support it right now, like you're being left in the dust right now, and then like 20 years later you'll think to yourself, oh, why didn't I do it right now? Same thing that happened with email marketing back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, email marketing was looked down on. And now when you think of it, oh, email marketing is something everyone's doing, right? So I feel like that's
Everyone,
something.
yes. Email and SMS.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the same thing with Facebook as well. Facebook ads, when they first started, people are like, oh, Facebook is only for college kids. And now you look at it, like every company is having Facebook ads. So that's something like
Facebook ads.
you can hate on it all you want to, but the reality is like this is like already paved into the future. Like there is no stopping it. Influencer marketing, and either you hop on the train or you just be left behind and then you fall into regret. So I feel like I feel like that's I feel like that's my perspective on it. Like don't be scared of it just getting cancelled, because that's not going to affect your brand at all. So yeah, I feel like this is a good podcast, Anshika. uh, I, I I I feel like our Let's Sell in India community learned a lot from what you said, and the pearls of wisdom that you shared. I feel like something that resonated most with me was especially the part where you said, "Ki experiment a lot, adapt to change, and don't be afraid to change career paths if that's not the right one for you." I feel like these three things really stuck with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me over here. It was a very good, discussion and a very enriching one.
amazing.
So I really hope that the viewers liked it.
Me too. Me too. It's really a pleasure to have you for the first ever podcast, because I know you for a while now, and with this podcast we got to know each other better, and I get to know your marketing tactics better as well. And I feel like you have amazing marketing tactics. So Anshika, thanks a lot for teaching our community how to be better marketers, how to be marketers, and we will see you again in a future podcast. So tune in next week, and we'll be right here at CEO Mava on YouTube, and Chal Let's Sell in India on Spotify and other podcast streaming platforms.